Hey guys, welcome back to IMFL. I'm happy that you can join me today. Today I'm here with another video to talk to you about my version of a wife material. So what I'm talking about today is basically how can you be wifey material. So this video will be good for those who are already married and also my single girls who are planning on getting married within the near future. So, growing up in a Ghanaian, half Ivorian home, my mum always used to go on about the man you're going to marry, and some of the processes that I need to undertake before I get married. And it was all centered around the husband. Now, having grown up in the sort of society that we are in, because that was ingrained into me from a young age, I'm still a very strong believer of that traditional wifey material. So what do I mean? And I'm going to go through some of these things with you. So, for example, when my husband comes home from work, greeting him with a kiss or a hug and seeing how his day went, holding his briefcase or any bag that he took and taking it off him, because obviously as he's come home he's going to be pretty tired, offer him a seat to sit down, quickly enter into the kitchen, pop into the kitchen, give him a glass of water or juice depending on what is available. And then I was taught to take off his shoes because he's probably been walking around all day, or sometimes even being sat in an office all day can put its toll on your feet. So the feet carries the whole body, it gets tired, so you offer to take off his shoes, put it in the cloakroom, and then his feet can rest. So depending on what the routine is, either he first goes up to take a shower while you prepare the table, or you prepare his meal and he eats and then run some bath water for him to shower. And of course, if he uses the shower, then all you could do is perhaps get his towel ready, his flannel or his bath scrubbing material, soap, anything like that, and just let him know that the shower is ready for him to pop into. So yeah, asking him if he wants to wash his hands, that's one thing that I missed. You know, anything of that sort is what I would say is classed as wifey material. Another thing that I want to talk about is when you are serving his food, making sure that as a man you serve his meal first before you serve your own. And also, in most cases, the men tend to eat slightly bigger portions than us women. So making sure that if it's meat or fish or chicken or whatever type of a staple ingredient you use, the man has an ample amount. It's a form of respect, it's a form of appreciation, because in most cases if the man has provided the money for the food to be cooked, then by giving him slightly more of whatever it is, shows to him that you appreciate that he's forked out the funds to make that meal. And obviously as the head of the home, it's the least that they deserve. Now I'm going to go on to talking about us women. In order for you to be wifey material, aside the spiritual aspect, which I've spoken about in some of my videos, making sure that you are centered in God's will, making sure that you are a prayerful wife, making sure that you are graced with kindness and that you are generous. Aside those biblical perspectives, I want to talk to you about grooming. So, as a woman, what are some of the things that you can do to maintain your wifey status so that when your man goes away for a period of time, his thoughts are centered on you? He hasn't got eyes for anybody else. He misses his wife because he knows what he's left back home. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. So, for example, not letting yourself go. Sometimes, you know, as we're growing up, you might get some flab here and there. It's normal. Not all of us are able to exercise or, you know, be very athletic in our physique. But shapewear can help us, okay? So during the day when you're running your errands or even going to work, you could wear your shapewear. I own several shapewears and I wear mine at night. If I don't think that anything interesting is going to happen at night, I can wear it to bed and then it does its job over the night. And the shapewear helps to sort of pull you in and give you a nice silhouette. Another thing, being modest in the way that you dress. I'm a massive advocate for modesty. I believe that as a woman, you don't have to show it all for a man to love you. In fact, the genuine men actually like women who are very well covered. They don't like boobs flashing, they don't like bum cracks showing, and the rest of it. So making sure that everything is modest. Your nails, even if you are going to do acrylics, like how I like to get my acrylics done, making sure it's not too sharp, too pointy, or even too long. Looking at the color you choose, it's modest, it's not overly bright where it becomes an eyesore. Why shouldn't it be too long? Because actually, during intimacy, you can actually hurt your husband or hurt the man if your nails are too sharp. So that's one thing. Making sure that your fingernails are clean. You don't have to do acrylics. Most people have very beautiful nails, so just making sure it's nicely manicured and presentable. Underneath, making sure you use a nail brush when you're washing your hands to get all the dirt from underneath. Your toenails, making sure it's nicely painted or otherwise, but as long as it's nicely groomed. Especially the soles of our feet can be quite cracked, quite dry, sometimes sharp. And I've had times like this when I get in bed and, before you know it, you've scratched his leg because underneath your feet are so chapped. So make sure that, you moisturize before bed, you apply some socks, and then that moisture will work overnight to keep the soles of your feet nice and soft and moisturized. Your husband will appreciate that. In the way that we speak, so making sure you are graceful. I sometimes have tendency to raise my voice when I'm very excited about something. So sometimes I have to sort of tell myself, and then I mellow it down, I reduce my tone, and I make sure that I'm speaking in a nice, sweet voice. That helps to aid them. It builds a connection. It makes the man draw closer to you, and so on. Another thing, making sure you think through things twice before you say it. It's a very, very difficult one, especially for those of us with snappy mouths, ladies. Sometimes when you're going to say something, you sort of have to process it. And if you take time to do that, you realize actually a lot of things can go under the bridge that you don't need to voice out or that you can miss out on. And that helps to make sure that you have a good relationship with your spouse, your husband. Make sure that he appreciates the words that you use. Because you've thought through it twice and you've taken a moment to think about what you're saying, it might not come across as harsh or as feisty, so to speak. Now I want to talk to you briefly on personal hygiene. As I mentioned, I'm going to be talking about grooming. And that's why I have these things here with me today. I am not sponsored by any of the brands that have these products. These are my personal products that I have in my house and use on a regular basis. So, for example, I've got a body scrub here. I like to use body scrubs after a shower at least twice a week because it helps to exfoliate the skin. It causes a nice softness, which is nice for when the man holds you. I have Andrex wipes over here. Any type of wipes will do, not necessarily Andrex. Like I said, I like the texture of these ones, that's why I buy these ones. And I use these. I usually have them in my bag and have one on each of the toilets we have in the house. And I basically use this after I've used the loo because paper alone doesn't always get rid of any dirt or any residue that can be left behind. So when you use wipes, it helps to clear most of the residue because it has some moisture in it, and then afterwards, if you don't like the sort of watery feeling or the wetness that's left behind, you can then go back in with some toilet paper to clean it dry. But this means that this helps so that you're clean, you get a more clean feeling. It's almost as close as you will get to washing yourself after using the loo. I've also got this glove. Now, a lot of you will recognize this. You can usually get these in the pound shops. And what I do is after I've cleaned myself or I've had a bath, I then put my hand in this. I usually have two of these, so I wear them like proper gloves. And then I sort of go in the vital areas, such as behind my ears. When we bath, sometimes we're in a hurry. We don't realize that we've missed out on the vital areas. Areas like behind your ear sometimes can generate odor if it's not being cleaned properly. And I like this one because it's white. So when you go in with a bit of water and soap and you start to massage the area behind your ear and inside your ear canal, this area here on the outside, that helps to get rid of any extra grease and grime that has been left there from, non-cleaning, or that has been left there because your sponge can't reach it. And because it's white, it's likely to show up better. Places like your belly button, going in and cleaning those areas, your groin areas, a glove like this really helps to just get that extra bit of cleanliness going on. Okay, next. So I've also got a toothbrush. Now, obviously, I know everybody has a toothbrush. I actually have two toothbrushes. I have an electric toothbrush, and then I have a manual one. Now, with my manual ones, I like to go for the firm brushes or the hard brushes. Now, the reason why I do this, because I don't always think that the electric toothbrushes always does the job. Obviously, you need to brush twice a day, but as a wifey material, you need to make sure that your breath is on point at all times, so that whenever your husband comes in to kiss you or to speak to you, everything is nice and pleasant. So when you have a slightly firmer toothbrush, you can really reach the back of your tongue and scrape it properly, because I would say about 60% of the smells that come in our mouths is from the tongue area. So using a harder or slightly firmer brush can help to really get in there and clean off any bacteria that can be left residing on the tongue. Over here, I've got an exfoliating mask. Now, you can find these in any of the Boots or Superdrug shops. And basically, it's a mask. It works for 15 minutes. So you undo the packaging and you apply the mask onto a wet face. And you just lie around or do whatever you want to do for 15 minutes. It helps to hydrate the skin. It helps to exfoliate the skin. And exfoliation basically removes the first layer or the dead cells that can build up on your skin and make your skin quite uneven, especially colored dark skin people can have that issue where we have discolorations around our mouth, on the sides of our cheeks and on our foreheads. So this really helps for those things. You only need to do this maybe once every fortnight or so, and that helps to really brighten up your skin and brighten up your look. And then another one of my favorites that I've been using for God knows how long is Optrex eye drops. So they have several ones. They have ones for dry eyes. They have ones for all sorts. But the ones that I really like to use is the brightening ones. Every now and again, when you've been tired and you're working a lot and you realize that you're sleeping late, your eyes can start to become quite dull. So these drops usually come or pour out blue, and you put them one drop on each eye every now and again, and it helps to really brighten your eyes and make you look nice and fresh. Now, those of you who know me know that I love Perfume, okay? These are two of my favorites. I've got a Michael Kors here. I don't actually know what it's actually called, the actual perfume, but that's the brand. And then this is Ralph Lauren Woman. I really love perfume, or the smell of lingering perfume on the skin. I think it's inviting, it's pleasant. Obviously, make sure that your husband isn't allergic to the scent. And just when you bath, put something on yourself. Spray it in your clothes, spray it in your jacket, anything like that. And it helps to invite your husband to you. Over here, I've got St. Ives. Again, it's another scrub, an apricot scrub, but it's for exfoliation of the face. So again, I use this once a week just to get rid of the extra dead skin cells, especially if I've been applying makeup, to make sure I rub it in on a wet face for about 10 minutes. I leave it on for another 5, and then I rinse it off, and I'm left with a smooth, soft face. This is a cleanser. Most women use cleansers to, again, get rid of residue from makeup or anything like that. Try and use a cleanser if you've applied makeup. Don't just use wipes, because I feel like the wipes removes a certain amount of the dirt and the grime, but not everything else. So when you go back in with a cleanser and you really lather it into your face, it helps to leave that squeaky clean feeling on your face. In the bedroom, You can use candles, okay? So I've got this candle. I was actually gifted it by one of my sweet sisters, Celine and Ohima. And I really like candles, the smell of candles in the bedroom. You can burn it, just make sure you don't leave it unattended. So pick a scent that you like, burn it for a few hours, maybe when you're both in the bedroom or you're having a shower and getting ready to go to bed. And it helps to leave this nice, soft, sweet smell in the room. It helps you to sleep, it helps you to be intimate with your partner, and so on and so forth. I love me some Victoria's Secret. This particular one is Passion Flowers. Again, I'm not paid by Victoria's Secret, but I really love this scent. And I usually use this after having a shower. I spray it on a wet body. So as the wetness evaporates, it leaves the smell. Once the alcohol evaporates, it leaves a nice, subtle smell on the body. So you can use this in place of perfume on the body, on the skin. And it's really nice to have when you've had a shower at night. And then last but not the least, I have particular perfumes I actually use in my bedding. So, you know, if I know that my husband's going to go up at a certain time, I would go in and spray the pillows and spray the bed sheets and spray the duvet covers. The aroma fills up the room, the scent, and it leaves a really nice feeling when you actually enter into the bed. So sometimes you'll come in and be like, what's that today? It smells really nice. And I think that's a really nice conversation opener for, as you know, what is going to happen next. So yeah, ladies, grooming is really important. Making sure that we bath twice a day as ladies, especially if you're very active. Make sure you are using the right products for your skin. Anything that causes irritation, discontinue use, and find something that works for you. And I think if you are able to apply all of these things, it will help you to be that wifey material that most husbands look out for. So until next time, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below on some of the products that you use that has helped you, and we can share ideas from there onwards. I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, God bless you.